Welcome to the Divorce Devil Podcast. I'm David.
And I'm Rachel. Follow us as we dive into all the positive and negatives of post-divorce recovery. Stay tuned for some real and sometimes raw end-of-the-road divorce topics. Please put on your big pants because we're full of honesty, authenticity, and irrefutable truths.
This progressive podcast ain't for the faint-hearted. Enjoy. Welcome everybody out there to Divorce Devil. This is a very exciting episode, episode 75, the Diamond episode.
We're going to call it the cornucopia of diamonds.
So today we're going to talk about quite a few cornucopia diamond plethora of subjects.
We've had a lot of stuff happen. I mean, I had my birthday.
We're going to start with one of her favorites. Forgiveness.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
What? No. No.
Yes.
You don't get to be the boss of me.
Yes.
Listen,
So
I would like to start with forgiveness. There we go.
go ahead. Go ahead. So
It was
let's
just
start with
because
history first. Okay. Oh yeah, we do a shout out to Warren.
Warren G. No, Warren K.
Warren K. sent us an email, said that he missed us last week, and we were kind of off keister because somebody was busy.
I mean, graduations and a birthday. I mean, sorry, people.
So she left me.
There are some things that I would miss this for, and only some
So
things.
anyway, back to the cornucopia diamond episode. The diamond episode.
Diamonds.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Forgiveness. Come on. Get
Okay,
it to me.
so since our last episode, 47, episode of forgiveness, I have definitely come to forgive, but it really is not giving a fuck, and that's my terms because I'm going to stick to them. But I've been divorced almost two years in July, and just when you think things are going great,
Bang, pow, wow.
it's like a Batman episode.
Yep.
Same bad time, same bad channel. So yeah.
I like that divorce Batman episode.
I mean, it could be. I mean, isn't Batman like 75 years old anyway?
So what I'm hearing you say is that you had unrealistic expectations that nothing else would raise its ugly head.
Well, and I thought I was...
Say it.
Yeah.
Say it.
Yes.
Thank you.
But I thought I was...
Thanks for listening, folks. Thank you for listening.
Okay,
was right.
That was the quickest episode ever. People, don't turn off your radios or whatever you're listening to. Because when I listen in the car, I'm like, I'm on the radio. I know I'm not, but...
You're not on the radio.
We're working towards it, people. If any of you are marketers or figure out how I can make a living doing this...
My co-host is old. She's on the radio.
I'm on the radio. I'm on the radio.
Anyway.
Yes. So, what was I talking about?
Damn.
It's been a rough... So anyway...
See what happens when you take off 2 weeks?
I know. I got a lot to talk about. I think... At the almost 2 year mark, I would have thought that it wouldn't be so, what's the word, stingy. So okay, so yesterday I was delivered or told that I'm going to get in trouble, apparently.
Without going into specifics.
Yeah, without going into stuff. But trouble like I'm going to lose some wages because of a mistake from my ex again. And so it's something else that ties me back to that. Yes, I'm already tied to him for my children, but his mistakes I keep having to pay for, and he's just like, whatever, it'll work out. They're not going to take me to jail for it, blah, 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 blah.
We're going to call this episode Lost Wages.
Yeah.
Las Vegas.
Okay, cool. I should go to Vegas and maybe win some money.
Yep.
But I don't have any money because it's going to be all taken away.
But
anyway.
even though you're going through this general thing, you still have to forgive.
No, I give no fucks now. I'm actually more mad because...
You really give no fucks.
No, really, because I am not going to forgive someone who keeps doing the same fucking thing all the time, and the only one getting repercussions for it is me. And so, and again, I don't want to fight. I don't want to make waves. But now I'm like, you are literally affecting my hard work, my livelihood, but you're just like, it'll get better. It's fine. And it's so lackadaisical that I'm just like so fucking annoyed. And all morning, all day last night, I went to bed early because I had a headache for just like, it's overwhelming. And so today at work, I'm having to talk to lawyers and this and that and just getting my shit straight because I got blindsided again. And I'm like, how much more am I going to be able to take? I'm strong. I've been through a lot of shit, but it's just another thing that brings you to the point where, like, yes, I've made the right decision, but I wish I would have made a different decision.
If you give no fucks, then this should not affect you as much.
Well,
so what are the odds it's happening again and again and again? Probably high, probably medium, moderate. So the less amount of time or the less amount of fucks you give that affects you, the better your life will be.
And because it's so new, it's almost like every time I tell my story, it helps me feel better, because when I say it out loud, it's like, well, you didn't do it, so why are you in trouble? And I'm like, no fucking shit. No fucking shit. And so when I have to communicate with him, I'm trying to give the verbiage that's neutral so that won't send me to jail, because there are times where I'm like, ugh, if I just stab him once, I'll feel better. But
how can verbiage send you to jail?
I'm just saying, like, if I send a text like you're murdered and then he ends up murdered, it's my fault.
Not if you didn't murder him.
Well, I know, but it's going to take a trial and a lawyer that I don't have money to pay for and bullshit. I mean, at least the bright side, because at work a couple people are like, girl, you're the most positive person I know. You need to get the negative out of your head and start positive thinking.
We're going to hire the Lincoln lawyer for you.
Oh, I just watched the first episode and fell asleep, but Lance has watched a couple of them.
Lincoln lawyer, because
he
drives a Lincoln. Those Lincoln lawyers are good.
I mean, yeah, Lincolns are nice.
Yeah.
But
those are kind of cute.
Me? I know.
No, the Lincoln lawyer.
Now you're checking out the Lincoln lawyer?
If I was a girl, that's a different story. But,
okay, you did not verify that.
If I was a girl, God,
if I was a girl. On the podcast.
Yeah. But let's say, because you know it's going to happen again.
Yeah, and
you know it is.
I think that.
So what you do is you just have that realistic expectation of just get ready for it when it comes.
But I don't want to live with stomach knots, because when I do that, I stop eating, I stop sleeping, I shut down. And my biggest thing that I've learned from that is my health will fail. And I don't mean to do it. It's just there's so many more things that become important, of like, I need to tell this person that, or I'm crying. I haven't cried in a long time, and I don't want to cry. But anyway.
Okay. Don't cry.
That's how it works. It's like, be calm. Don't tell a girl be calm, because it's literally just triggered her to be like not calm.
Baby, don't talk. Baby, don't talk. Hold still. Don't talk. Oh, that's different. I'm sorry,
dude. For serious?
That's different. I'm sorry.
For serious?
Well, I'm sorry. That's not forgiveness. That's something totally different.
I mean, unless there's a ball gag in your mouth, then there is no reason to shut her mouth.
Make sure it's plastic. You don't want to chip the teeth.
Wait, they don't. What did they make them out of?
Oh, porcelain, metal.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
I would assume it's like a rubber ball.
I've heard.
I don't actually have one of them. And I like me toys.
I don't either.
No, you don't have one of them. But I want to know. Hey, Kelly, someone needs a ball gag. I'm thinking we just need another toy.
Maybe with the ball gag for forgiveness. You use the ball gag for forgiveness. Not of yourself, of course.
What the fuck? What are you talking about?
Hey, I'm just going all over the place.
That's usually me.
I know.
But no, like I feel like, again, we say divorce is really, really hard, and it ebbs and flows, right?
But not impossible.
But and it was almost like things were so good, and normally I'd be like, okay, when's the ball gonna drop? When's the ball gonna drop? And I got into this comfortable spot. And I was like, okay, I can make my car payment. I'm doing this. I've got my own thing. Like, oh, let's do this. Let's go on a vacation. We can do this. And then all of a sudden, literally, it was like the rug was ripped out from under me. And I was just like, wait, am I back at the beginning? Because I don't like this feeling.
I think divorce is more, it's kind of like boxing. The boxing matches on TV where the ref comes out and says, protect yourself at all times. So you can't let your guard down. And I think you can't. You gotta be a little bit hardened, and I hate to say that, but you gotta be realistic as in terms of like, hey, this is gonna be great. Nothing's gonna happen. Of course, something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You gotta be ready.
Well, and like if this was 2 years ago, I would have shut down. I would have built up all the walls. Like Lance has said, when we first started dating, I was like, nope, there's a wall. It's like the wall of China. Mm-hmm. Not sure how it got there. We know how it's built and stuff, but like
built it.
The wall is so big and expands so much. I don't know when the pieces of it are coming down, and then my walls go right back up. I shut down, and then it's like, oh, I'm not going to take care of me because there's so much outside stuff that I can't deal with it, that I just I need quiet. And so then I start with the headaches, and then I don't eat, and then it just keeps manifesting into something else. And I think 2 years ago I would have absolutely just been in bed. I was able to deal with it, get to work. Yeah, I had a couple episodes of like, oh shit, the lawyer's calling, or this one's calling, or that one's calling, and it was reminiscence of the beginning of it, and it takes you back to how far you've come too. So it's a good and a bad. It's like, what else? What else?
What else can happen?
Last week I got served for a medical bill that's not even pertaining to me because they can't get a hold of him, or they don't know where he is, or he's not paying it. But he has so much debt with everything else that they can't get blood from someone that's drained the blood. I
think there's two parts of this.
Yeah.
And I just forgot what I was getting ready to say.
Man.
There's the part where you have to protect yourself at all times.
Yeah.
And there's the part of being realistic that life isn't fair.
Yeah.
And you have to accept that. It would be totally fair if, excuse me,
bless you,
if everybody, paid their bills and all, but life isn't fair like that. So you got to be ready for that.
And again, I'm not the person that should be punishing him, but I shouldn't be punished for stuff that I didn't do or didn't know about. So now it's like, you were fucking stupid. You don't know anything. How do you know what's real in your life? How do you know what this? Blah, 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 blah. And it was, the best part of this new act is actually Lance. He was just like, you know what? We're going to get through it. It's going to be okay. Whatever we have to do, we'll figure it out. And at the time, it was just words saying to me, but I felt safe in it. But I was like, I also want him to know, like, I have to do this myself too, because how am I going to progress?
Yep. It's just like our friend Angela says.
Yeah.
Dicks are like tap water. They're everywhere.
Yeah. I was married to one.
There you go. Angela's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told her we're coming to her house. We're invading. We're going to have shirts. It's going to be like Angela's, the Divorce Devil thing, location. Yeah. But yeah, so it's just like, you get comfortable, and then you have to come out of your comfort zone to grow. But I feel like I've grown so much. Like, just leave me alone. Like, just leave me alone.
But you can't be selfish.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're being selfish, not in a bad way.
Yeah.
But you're being selfish with yourself because you have those unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
That, life is not all fairy tales and unicorns.
And
you got to be ready.
And my thing, too, is, like, I have survived my entire life. Mm-hmm. And so now it's like, I don't need to survive. I need to figure it out. And there's a lot of things that I'm doing now you would think as an adult you've already experienced. But like my ex was like, oh, I got it, figure it out, and he's a money guy. He was an estimator. Like, that's what in a construction company, like big money's like figuring out things. And I trusted. And so now it's like, I trust, but I don't. I trust, but I don't. I do trust, I don't trust. And like, what do I put my faith in when it doesn't seem to be a faithful life? It doesn't make sense. Like, all the things in my life up until now have disappointed me.
Not all.
But I'm saying, like, and then
quite a few things.
I'm getting upset. Sorry.
Don't get upset.
And I don't want it to be a sad. But this is divorce. This is divorce. This is the stuff you go through. This is the stuff, 24 years I was married. And it's literally like in the last 2 years, if I could wipe it out, no, I wouldn't trade my children. I wouldn't change the experiences. But the chaos.
But you need that crazy and chaos to be where you are right now.
I know. And I know that.
Yeah.
But it brings you back to like, I've gone 2 years almost divorced, and here it is again. It feels like the beginning. Like, just stop. Like, when does it end?
But not as bad. If this were to happen right when you got divorced,
oh no, I'd be like,
oh yeah,
sobbing in bed for 2 days.
See,
my girlfriend would be like, here's a shake, drink it.
Now you can come on the podcast and hang out.
Yeah, so I mean, divorce is so emotional, and it's like, I'm not a hateful person, and I'm not like, you did this to me, but like, fuck, come on. People, take your part in it.
Responsibility.
And I have a part in it too. Like, I lived a great life. I did it, but I didn't see it until I was out of it. And we said that all the time. Like, take a step back. Like, my thing now is I'm gonna be financially okay, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm okay. And if I'm okay, the people around me are okay, but I know that I'm responsible enough to be like, this is my bills, this is what I need to pay, this comes first. You know, I'm going to take care of my kids, I'm going to do what I need to. But I also have to live, because this is such a short time that we're, you know, able to be on the planet, whatever.
You can't owe forever.
Yeah, and
you can't enjoy life.
And so sometimes you got to be like, you know what? And I don't want my kids to go without because of stupid mistakes from someone else. So it's like, do I take them for that trip? Do I do this? Do that? But daily, I see bright sides of things. Mm-hmm. Like, I just got a huge raise at work. Like, the universe was like, okay, this is going to happen. You're going to go through 24 hours of crap, but we're going to take care of you. And again, like, I'm thankful for my job. I'm thankful for the people at my work. I'm so thankful for my children, and I'm most thankful for Lance for just being a support and being someone that I always say he's my safe space, because a long time I didn't feel safe.
I love that you say that, because I think as Americans or human beings, we always concentrate on the negative. Yeah. You know, this, that, and the other. Yeah. It's been some crazy shit happening in the world the past couple of weeks, couple of days. Yeah. I think it's a breakdown of the family unit.
Absolutely.
Families not taking care of each other.
You got to love the ones you're with and let them know that they're loved no matter what. You know, I work in elementary school, and yesterday was just a bad day in general, having to explain to fourth graders that they're okay at school, even though I don't know that they're okay. Because, yes, we're military school and stuff like that, but when does it end? When does this stop? When do we start protecting our babies?
And what's interesting about that is that back when we were kids, nobody did that stuff.
No, because
nobody
people
went to
knew that.
Shut up.
Yeah,
because they had respect for each other.
Yeah,
you know, lack of respect is huge.
And as a nurse, the big thing that I keep saying is, it's not the guns. It's education, and we need to do better for mental health. We need to talk about it. We need to, like, if you know that someone has a problem, reach out. Like, we need to do more preventative mental health stuff, because who knows what this kid was thinking. He's 18, but he's a kid, and he took out classroom. Like, going to school yesterday was tough, but it got really real, because we have so many things in place to protect them, but no one prepares you for that. Yep. And, you know, we have SROs in our school, but they cycle out so quickly that they don't know the kids. They don't know their schedules. They don't know, like, okay, they're going to be outside at lunch, and maybe I need to be outside there, or maybe I need to do this. I mean, our building is secure during the day. It's locked and all that, but this person got in. This person penetrated our most valuable human, our citizens. So we need to do better. Compassion, humanity goes a long way with, you know, love thy neighbor is such an easy thing to do.
So basic.
Yeah, sorry.
And that concludes the PSA service announcement for Divorce Devil. And now back to our sponsors, Divorce Devil, and trying to help people with divorce. Yeah, and you know, it's such a sad time, and you know, you worry about these families, and a whole community lost a grade. Like, they lost all these babies. And so we need to do better. We need to spread the word. And yes, I'm
first world problems. I'm worried about, financial stuff, and people lost their children. But
so it's all relative.
Yeah, so it's like pick your battles.
Someone's always going through something worse than what you're going through.
I mean, one of my favorite saying is plant seeds of kindness and watch love grow, because a tiny bit of kindness can help someone's day. Like today, I had someone make me a tea just because they know I like tea, and it was on my desk when I came back from an assembly. And they're like, you just needed it. I'm like, thank you. And it was so simple, but it was so meaningful. So this is the crying episode, apparently. I've already started, so just keep going.
Hey, this is a bit different than a crying game.
No, we're not.
A little bit different.
Little different, but...
It's like, what's those?
So,
Franken beans.
Well, and the other thing, like we were talking about forgiveness, is like, how do you forgive evil when it's, it was this person definitely had some mental stuff, but we're supposed to forgive. Well, we don't have to forget, and we don't have to, plaster what he did, but we need to find a neutral,
like a happy place.
Yeah, we need to be more accepting of adults and children that have special needs, and we need to get them help. And we need to, I'm sorry, but we need to stop sending money to everyone else except for our schools. Like, we need to protect our schools. We need to protect
that's our future.
Our, everything. And again, I have been hunting since I was a kid. I go with Lance, we go hunting, and it's like a peaceful thing because we're together, we're in nature, and anything that we shoot, we generally eat. So we need to educate people better, and we need to hold people accountable. And I've heard a lot of things today about how we make it better, but if people are deterred because of what could happen to them if they penetrate our schools, maybe less people would do it. I don't know the answers. I don't know how to make it better. I mean, do you have police, 4 police, 5 police? Is 6 going to be the number? Like, it just needs to stop. And a lot of times divorce happens because of mental health, because one person can't take the other person's mental health. And if you've tried everything and you've gone to the doctors and you know that something's wrong, like, we need to be able to say, hey, like, this guy needs help. This person should be, someone should know.
Even if they don't want to be married to them anymore, it's just to help them.
And that stigma needs to go away, because it happens to a lot of us. I mean, a lot of people have some type anxiety, or autism's huge. That's all I hear all day. He's got autism. He's got ADD. He's got bipolar. He's got this. He's got that. He's got human. He's human. He just has something's missing chemically, or, trauma from home, or, a lot of my kids in my school move so much that they don't make friends. And so when you get to a school where people have lots of friends because they've been together forever, it's a big, like, why don't I fit in? And so we need to make people fit in more than fit out, and we need to make it less of a stigma to fit out, because there's something wrong with us. So, I mean, that's I guess, I don't know. I see myself as one of the kindest person. I will help you out no matter how I can, but I don't know how to help this situation. And, even just talking now, I feel a little better, but, I work in an elementary school. Like, what?
Ground zero.
Yeah. So, Let's do better. Let's do better. Like, do better. Do something kind for someone. Pay it forward. I don't know. Plant seeds of kindness. Literally.
Where was I? And someone paid it forward.
Yeah. A lot of times happens at, like, the Starbucks or the Dutch Bros.
I was at Dutch Bros.
Yeah.
And somebody paid it forward, so I paid for one behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If that happens to me, I always pay for the person behind me.
Those pay it forward things are instrumental in, I think, in diffusing a lot of road rage and all that stuff. Just all the evil in the world. Yeah. And there's evil associated with divorce.
And there's a lot of cyclical things too, because at one time I forgot my wallet, and I'm like in the line for the coffee, and the person in front of me paid. It was like, how did the universe know that? Yep. I'm like, I can't find my wallet. Where the heck is it? Well, I'd left my debit card at home. Okay, so someone paid for me, and, like, they don't even know, because it was anonymous, what that meant. So then I'm like, well, I can't pay for the person behind me, but tomorrow.
Sorry, what?
My anus. Unanimous.
Animus? Okay.
Animals? Los Animos? I don't know how to say that word anyway, but the animals. Yeah, Colorado.
Yep.
But yeah, so forgiveness, especially in the times we're living, is a hard one. And again, a lot of the things that we worry about during divorce really aren't terrible, but when you're going through it and it keeps hitting you and keeps hitting you and keeps hitting you, you really got to find a positive. Like, someone made me a tea today. They don't even know how awesome that was, but it was just something I can enjoy that tea, take a moment, something I love, and it changed my day. It
People
changed,
say
yeah.
A positive spin on a bad situation can do wonders.
This podcast is that. How many times have we started and I'm crying and then we laugh and I feel better?
Every time.
Or if you vent or you talk out loud. I said a couple times today, like, because when you're going through things, you're like, wait, did I do that? Or I walked into the lounge and I'm like, why am I in here? I'm like, oh, okay, now I remember.
That's just you getting old.
I know. And I'm not trying to fight it, but like, okay. And so a lot of times, if you can just, okay, I got up today. I was able to get up today. Thank you. Thank you, universe. I have clothes on my back. Thank you. I have gas in my car. And that's a hard feat because it's freaking expensive. I have a job.
Yep.
I have food in my refrigerator. I have a loving family. I have an amazing boyfriend. My friends are awesome. Like,
focus on the
sun is shining and the wind is not outside in Colorado.
There are so
Do
many
you understand
negatives.
what that means?
There's so many negatives in our lives.
Yeah.
I think that we have a hard time seeing the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
The positives are the forest, but the trees are the negative, and they get in the way, but there's always positive somewhere.
Yeah, and a lot of times when it's in your face, you can't see past the hand in front of your face, right? Or the nose in front of your face. I don't know what the saying is, but you can't see past that. And if you're just able to, like, okay, take a deep breath, figure it out. You're supported here. And I think my biggest thing is safe, because like I said, a lot of times in my life, I didn't feel safe. Mm-hmm. Just that alone helps me get through. And I'm like, you know what? The most positive thing is, like, I have this man in my life that loves me no matter what, and whatever I bring to the table, because I'm who I am. So it's like.
So we're going to tell people to refer to episode 74, where you can laugh your ass off. Because right now, if you're crying or sad, you listen to 74 a couple of times, you will laugh your ass off.
47 is the forgiveness one, if you forgot, because I don't mention that ever. It's my favorite.
47, 74. Those two episodes.
Is that what you meant?
Yep.
Okay.
No, I meant 74.
Oh,
74
yeah, the last one was funny.
Oh, yeah.
But, okay, so, like, how did you get to the forgiveness thing? Because it's really hard for me.
Like I said before, my forgiveness was tied up in my anger.
Yeah.
So once I let my anger go, the forgiveness kind of followed.
I think
it was kind of a 1-2 punch.
When I revisit some of the things that happened to me, especially with my ex-wife, what? So, all right, my ex and his mother, I have to laugh. I mean,
you got to.
And then you tell it out loud, and people are like, is that like a movie you're watching? And like, are you watching like a Hallmark Channel thing? Like Murder, She Wrote? What are you watching? So I think, and I'm one of those people, if something's happening, I'm laughing through it because I don't know what to do until my brain like kicks in, like, oh, okay, you're right, all right.
That was sad. Stop laughing.
Stop. I know. I'm sorry you broke your leg. I can help you, but you're a dumbass. And I'm the most clumsy person ever, so Lance does that to me all the time.
I'm sorry you're divorced, but it's kind of funny.
Yay! Woohoo!
And it might be the best thing that ever happened to you.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it.
Yeah. And again, I can't say that my whole marriage was terrible. And how do you value that or the worth of it? And I've been to places I've never been before. Like, I left the country for the first time when my honeymoon. Like, there was a lot of things that spiraled from that, and I enjoyed, and I had experiences, and like I can't take that from my marriage, but like the amount of chaos at points outweighs all the good.
Yep.
But you have to like you said, you have to spin it like, what's the positive? I made it out. Like, I got out, or, look how happy I am now. I say to Lance all the time, I'm like, look at all the things that had to happen for us to meet. I had to leave New Jersey, which I was never going to leave New Jersey, move to Colorado.
Everything was innocent.
Get divorced, move out, and then go on Match.com. Like, what? Yep. Okay.
At 2 a.m. or whatever.
Hey, handsome. But yeah, so there is positives, like I said today, I got a huge raise at work.
Parting words.
Literally after that whole... Wait, what?
Parting words.
We didn't even get into the nuts and bolts.
Hey, we're keeping
penises and nuts. Wait, what?
Anuses and nuts.
I said nuts and bolts.
Frank and beans.
Frank's...
Not anuses and nuts. Frank and beans. God.
I said penises and nuts.
Oh, is it anuses?
I was like, that was multiple penis. Or
what,
peni?
anuses?
Is it peni? Or peni? I'm back, folks. And shut up, Jeff. I cried because I could. Yeah, I'm allowed to. Every once in a while, we got to bring back the old Rachel.
There you go.
And sniffling and all that. But what else we were talking about? No, there was more. We can't leave. I can't do it. I'm got to have a whole week that he didn't come. Well, wait.
Life's a bitch.
But
life's a bitch. I should have had your happy ass here. All right, Warren.
I mean, I had important things to do.
Warren K, Warren G, Warren K, Warren K.
Yay!
Warren K
He is our number one fan right now.
Thanks for being number one fan. Warren
and again,
K.
if any of you know how to market us, because I really need to make some money doing this.
He's a hairdo.
I need hair and makeup.
Wigs.
I need a budget for hair and makeup.
You need like one of those Bo Derek 10 wigs.
Oh man, like everybody loved her.
Yeah.
I actually do really need to get my hair done. So if anybody can do
On that note, folks, we want to appreciate you for listening and all over the place today. But
and be
still
kind. Take care of each other. The world's crazy, and I don't know the answers, and Dave doesn't know the answers, but we're here to talk. And if you have any conversations that you want us to go over, and remember, divorce is ugly. It gets better, and then it gets bad, and it gets ugly
at first, but beautiful in the end.
Wait, how long have you been divorced again?
12
years. Again, and ebbs and flows, and talking to somebody, getting it out. It helps. But yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those episodes where we got a lot to say, but don't really know what to say. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening.
All right. Bye.